they've disconnected it and just said out of order. I think when there was only a few Teslas, they were happy, but as they got more and more, they might have just taken it off.
Hiya.
Hi. Oh, here comes another black one. Oh, so noisy. I don't know that. Oh yeah, go get your coffee.
No.
Want one?
If possible.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we've got about another 10 years.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
It's got to go through.
I'll just try a little experiment. Jump in. It's fine. We've all got you just want to show your car. I said, no, you don't understand. We don't want to show the car off. We want people to understand the transition to electricity is absolutely real.
Oh, I'd love to you know, if I had the money to convert to electric. My main concern is I use a trailer and it's like, what would that be like on batteries?
If you've got a trailer, you need the Cybertruck. If you're towing things on a regular basis. But the reality at the moment, electric cars aren't really fully there for things like towing heavy loads and stuff.
Yeah.
They can do it, but that's, you know, their energy density of the batteries isn't quite there. It's another couple of years away. But for I don't know these roads and corners. But for the average person who's around the city, electric is awesome.
Yeah. I tell you, you wouldn't miss that sort of instant torque that's always there. It's one thing a lot of people, you know, you say electric and they go, oh, that'd be slow as. It's like, do you understand that, you know, have you ever used a radio controlled car where it's, you know? So what model is this one?
This is a Tesla Model 3. This is the performance model, dual motor performance. Has two motors, one in the front. I'll hit that off. You can see where the motor structure is there on the thing. The motor at the front and the motor at the back.
Okay.
And currently I'm running at about 50% of battery power. They gazetted at 560 kilometres of range maximum. That's probably hard to achieve. You'd probably say around 500 would be a more normal if you were careful. I sort of work on the theory that I've got 400 practical range for day-to-day type stuff.
And how long does it take, like, for a full recharge if you were to plug it in at home?
If you plug it in at a 10 amp plug, which is a standard outlet you have in an ordinary home, it trickles in at about 10 kilometres an hour of recharge time.
Cool.
So you just work it out from there roughly.
Yep.
If you go to a 16 amp plug, which is the next one up, you'll get in about 13, 14, 15 kilometres an hour. If you go to a Tesla destination charger, which there's a few of them around, there'll be more, they're about 60 kilometres an hour. The high performance DC charge is around 250 kilometres recharging an hour. And if you go for the Tesla supercharger down at Eaton, it's about 900 kilometres an hour recharge.
And the public recharging, is the government charging for them, or are they free like some of the other places around?
A lot of them Well, some of them are free because they're being charged. They're being done by agencies that are exploring, experimenting, and having a bit of fun with it. Some of them are charged. It depends on whether they're put in privately or they're put in for an experiment. In the long run, they'll all be charged because there's a cost. These things cost a lot of money to put in, and they cost electricity to run, so you should pay for it. But we already know from America that about 90 to 95% of charging is done at home.
Yep.
Because it's cheap. If you've got solar panels, you can basically run off your solar and charge for free, and even if you don't, it's about $15 to, quote, fill it up.
But you'll get 500 k's out of that, roughly.
Yeah, I say about 400 as a
Yep.
practical range for me, because I don't fill it. You see that white line?
Yep.
I don't fill it to 100%. That's really for long trips. So generally around town, it's like your suitcase. You don't jam your suitcase solidly full all the time. You should leave it a bit of space in it. Same as the battery. Don't jam it full. It'll take forever and it'll damage the suitcase or damage the battery. So what you do is you do it to here. It's fine. 400k is not a problem. If I'm going on a long trip, I would simply change that limit by doing there. So it says daily
Yep.
trip. I'd simply put it up to there, and then I would charge fully. But that part, the last part, is slow to charge because it's like your suitcase. It's hard to fit all the last
Yep.
bit in. It's the same thing. It's hard to fit in. As the battery gets full, it's harder and harder to fit the electrons in. So normally you just operate down here somewhere and go, all right, that's for daily stuff. But see, unlike a petrol car where you go and fill up, you don't fill these up like that. You don't once a week go to the service station. You just arrive home, flip the little thing on here, which I'll pull over and I'll show you. I just open that, and you can't see, but on the side, the equivalent of a little
Oh, yeah.
fuel thing has come up, and you got it.
Oh, go to, yep.
Okay, I'll close it, and I'll open it, and I'll close it again. So
Yep.
there you go. So all you do is you flip that open, you plug your power point in, and then you that's it. You're done. You just you go to bed, whatever you want to do, and you're good. You wake up the next morning and you've chucked in 150 k's.
And these are they a lithium battery or a form of lithium?
I'm not the electrics expert on this. I love what Tesla was doing, but I don't get
Okay.
all hooked up on the thing. It is a lithium-based battery,
Yeah.
but it has cobalt and other things in.
Yeah.
Although they've got new formats of batteries coming out that'll be eliminating some of those harder to get rare
Because with
metals.
the old-fashioned rechargeable batteries, it was you had to leave them empty then fully charged.
No.
Lithium, it's about keeping them
You
active.
can- these ones keep the battery active. They just say don't run to zero, don't run to 100% all the time. They actually say with the battery structure, you're better off to keep it between 20 to 80 most of the time. It's designed around. I'll tell you what else I need to do. I'll see if I can get that working. I'll do it at slow speed. I don't know if it'll pick it up. Now the first thing is, it's got a speed structure. I'm going to keep it down low because we're where we are, but it'll follow that speed, and if I hit that, it will accelerate up to the speed limit. So currently it's telling me I'm in a 50 km/h speed limit zone, and that when I touch that, it will go to that speed and maintain that speed for me.
So like an old-fashioned cruise control.
It's a cruise control,
Yeah.
yeah, but it has the advantage with this cruise control. In fact, there's a little lane where I can go. It has the advantage with this cruise control of if I get somewhere, all I have to do, I'm obviously not going to do it here, but it doesn't know where I am now, but when I tap that, it will actually take me up to that level.
Okay.
So I don't have to set anything, and when it crosses into a new speed limit, that changes, I tap it again, and it resets itself to the speed limit. In certain areas, it'll actually automatically slow down. If I can find something with lines on it, I've got to find something with a line on it. These roads are pretty narrow, so I'm in a suburban street, but if I get another one there, I can put it on auto drive.
Okay.
And on auto drive, you'll see these lanes turn blue, and it will actually drive along following the lanes quite successfully. About 80% of my driving is on automatic, where I'm actually just using all the lane following systems. But I'd have to go right up to the main road
Yeah.
to collect that for you. I hope that gives you a bit of a...
It does. I mean, have you had the car long enough that you've had to do sort of general maintenance and brakes or anything on it?
I've only had it for 2 months.
Okay.
And in 2 months, I have so far spent, until a few weeks ago, the answer was 0 on everything, including energy. So I've done 6,500 kilometres, and I've spent 0, not even on energy.
Yeah.
Solar power, recharging off the roof, free public charges. I did get one fault under warranty from Tesla, and it was a really seriously big one. The front number plate was slightly crooked. And they had to actually take the front number plate and readjust it, and it took them about 10 minutes. They came to my house, they did it at the house. They just rang me and said, can we go to your house and do it? And I said, sure. They went to the house, they did it, and I came home that night and it was all done. And that was it. So no, the brakes should last about 7 to 10 years, depending how you drive. Regenerative braking, I have this set on, I have regen braking on standard, so it's more aggressive. I have my acceleration set to sport, but I can put it on chill mode if I want to have a little bit more relaxed. Steering, I can have it on any one of those modes. But I don't use the brakes much, because when I take my foot off the accelerator, it regenerates, and it's almost like it's not a heavy brake, it's an intermediate level of braking. So about 90% of my slowing, it's done under regenerative braking.
And how much of the regeneration puts back into the batteries? Is it minimal, or can be significant?
Oh no, it's actually significant. You lose a lot of range. If you turn that to low, you lose a lot of range. There's a lot of wasted energy in braking. So you have that on. I want as much as I can recaptured. I don't know the exact details, it's a technical thing, but I do know that the time I tried it with it low, I noticed a quite loss of, it was faster losing its energy. So I do that. Obviously when you accelerate in sport mode, it's insanely fast, but it burns through the energy.
Yeah.
So, if you put on chill mode or just drive in a more relaxed mode, it's fine. So yeah, we have a lot of control systems about it. One of the things I like is it has all these profiles. So you can actually sit there and adjust the seat, adjust the steering. So that's for my son, he's learning to drive at the moment. My girlfriend, my partner, she has a different height to me. So it automatically adjusts to ourselves. It has valet mode on there. When I tap valet mode, the car is restricted to 40 kilometers an hour, and there's a whole stack of things they can't change on here. So if you give the car to someone else, you can put it in valet mode, they can park, but they can't take it for a drag race. Yeah.
No, it's fascinating. As I said, I'd love to, but it's just, like our car over there, 99%, it's just an everyday driver to the shops and back.
Yep.
But then there is that it's, does tow a trailer, so that's the downside. But
they can tow, but they do. They're powerful enough. They've got torque. They can clearly tow trailers. There's no problem with that. The power is, more than enough to do that. The question is range. And when you start towing things, you will chew into your range. So look, if you're just going down to the garden centre to pick up some stuff, and it's 20, 30, 40 k's away, you wouldn't notice a difference. You'll notice a little bit more range gone, but you can plug in that night at home, and who cares?
Yeah.
Although he's on summon as well. But if you were sort of saying, oh, I'm towing trailers regularly with quite a long distance, then it's a little bit more complicated for you. It's some people say you can do it, but I'll just sit there and say it's probably not yet quite as fully convenient as it could be.
Thank you for that. It was fascinating. Because I said to my wife, I want to come. She goes, why do you want to come about electrics? I said, because they fascinate me. Cars fascinate me. I love cars. But the future is electric. So, and the thing is, at the moment, Tesla seems to be out in front of giving the gadgets, I guess, and the mod cons that everybody wants. Like years ago, I watched the documentary on who killed the electric car, the EV1. And it was so sad. It was like, there's something that can change the future, but the way that it was portrayed, that the petroleum industry was the one that said, no, we're not allowing it.
Yep.
And GM basically said, well, we'll take to them and, stop it.
Yeah, it's an amazing change. And the amount of technology they build in these cars with all the different things that you do, that everything is software controlled off the main screen. There's also quite a good voice control system. Open glove box. And the glove box opens. So when you're driving, there's a lot of things you don't need to do manually. People say, oh, you're constantly distracted by this. And after a while, you learn the voice commands. So, and the other day I noticed on this, that this speed limit thing here, actually I got a second speed limit underneath it with a little lock next to it, a little clock next to it. And I was trying to figure out, and I suddenly realised I'd entered into a school zone, and it was during the school hours when the school zone is active. So during that time, the software had updated sometime a few weeks ago, and it gave me a thing that says, it tells me what the limit is, it tells me the school zone limit, it tells me that it's currently active. The car actually slowed down automatically, so I didn't breach the speed limit in the school zone.
I mean, I
love that software updating.
Even, my phone, more and more I'm learning that I don't have to touch it when I'm driving. And I say to my wife, she's got some health issues. Get Siri set up on your phone so that you can actually voice control what you want more and more.
Yep.
You know, and it's these things that you don't know about, but you either fiddle with or somebody else mentions, and you know. But I guess like with you, this allows you not even to have your phone near you or anything else. It just connects all in. And
my phone lives under here on a charging pad, so as soon as I jump in the car, I throw the phone there normally in the car. Then the phone is actually recharging on the pad. I can either put one phone that way, one phone, or I can have two phones here. I bought the Jetta charging pad as an accessory, and I think it's really valuable because, you know, my phone's there, my girlfriend's phone goes there, and they both link up to it for entertainment if we want either. But you don't have to have it in sight.
No, I was looking at the dash. It's like, where is the dash basically? There's a steering wheel and there's what looks like an iPad. That's
what is really impressive is this. I hope your video is getting this. The video, you can see the little things on here of air coming out, and just by going like that, you can split the airflow, or you can tilt the airflow up, or you can tilt the airflow down, or you can bring the airflow back together.
It's amazing.
It's all done, and it's all controlled from this single air blade here that is controlling it. It's actually got two blades of air. One blade of air is pushing up, one blade of air is pushing out, and they use those twin blades like that just by force. When this one's stronger, it tilts the air up. When this one's stronger, it tilts the air down. So a lot of this air conditioning control system is just by the speed of air that they're pushing through. There's no actual mechanical thing, or there are some, but there's very limited. But there's no vents that you actually have to physically adjust. It's all been done by air pressure. It's amazing. We also have a climate control that says keeps the car cool for as long as I want, or stops the car getting overheated. I can put it on dog mode, and when it's on dog mode, when I lock the car, it comes up with the thing saying the owner will be back soon, and the car is temperature controlled, so someone doesn't have to panic that they've left a dog in the car. In fact, on a hot day, just safer leaving the dog in the car with dog mode on than putting it out on a hot street. So it's just filled with little technology, and it says there dog mode.
So, I mean, I don't know if you would know. That I understand, basically Tesla is can be 4 motors, one on each wheel or front and back. Is there a separate one like for the air conditioning, or?
It does have a motor for the air conditioner, a small one. Yeah, it has some motors for that. It's got, yeah, it does have some separate motors for that. They're not running off the main motors. The main motors are for driving the thing, which is why it's now spinning quite happily, but the air conditioning motors are much smaller. There's a lot of technology behind it. And it's just little things like the reversing screen is really big.
Yeah.
So you can see so much. You can just press a button and see the state of charge of where you are on the car and what you need to do. You can schedule yourself for charging to say, all right, I'm going to leave at 7 o'clock this morning, so I want you to charge and stop charging a couple of minutes before 7 and preheat the battery ready to go. So the car is warm, everything is ready to go, the battery's good, so you just put in scheduled departure. Or you can say start charging at this time or stop charging at that time. It's just filled with so many ideas that's just staggering. I love it. It's absolutely, and the fact that you control almost the entire car from your telephone. So, you know, I could be in Sweden and I just get on the phone and unlock the car, start the car. My son can then drive it or do what he wants, and then when he's finished, I can make sure he's locked it. I know where it's parked because on my phone it tells me everything. Yep. I'm very impressed. I must admit that we have this thing called the Tesla stretch, which is how much did you spend on the Tesla more than you've ever spent before. And you know, people in America, they're saying it's around $15,000. In Australia, it's about $20,000 to $30,000. So most people are spending $20,000 to $30,000. For me, it was a $100,000 stretch. I've never spent this much on a car in my life, and I absolutely adore it. I just cannot. I will never buy a petrol engine again ever in my life. There is no chance. And my son is now hooked as well. He's driven in this. He wants electric as soon as he can. So, you know, all I say to people is go and find someone that's got a Tesla or the Mercedes EQ or the Audi e-tron or the Jaguar I-Pace. Find someone that's got an electric car. Take it for a test drive. They're incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no thanks. It's been great.
That BMW Sport version is like, what's going on there? Email from the cafe. Responsible. You promise you'd be responsible. We'll have a look inside, Anthony. What's in the? I think that's Mark. Yeah. I've got one of the extra. Yeah.
Shout out to David and his Tesla 3. Appreciate the test drive and the information. Amazing vehicles. The start of the future.
Yes, I'm sure you are.
And that's, you've got it, can you do it on your phone? Because David showed me from inside that you tell it to open the charging flap.
Yep.
You can do that from your phone, or
Or
you just...
if it's unlocked, you just touch the side of it
Okay.
and it just pops open and then it closes when it's ready. Or once you unplug it. This one's just a slow charger. Because I'm renting with a couple of friends, I just use a standard power outlet.
Yeah.
Really slow. Laptop brick. End for the car.
I think David said it's about $15 for a full charge, roughly.
Depends on what sort of power plan you've got with Synergy. They're just on the standard tariff that people I live with. So a 0 to 100 charge, $19.50 for up to 500 kilometres.
But as David said, if you've got solar power, you know, free.
If you get the off-peak rate at night, even less. But even places that charge for fast charging, like the superchargers or the Coburn fast charger, you can still charge this for less than a tank of fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
About 13. And this one, they're primarily designed to be installed hardwired in like an air conditioner or hot water system.
Do a heavier ampage.
And they'll charge it up to...
That's another big box with not much in.
Oh yeah.
Haven't pulled the plastic off, not ready to
Oh, I
do
haven't
that
even
yet.
opened my box. I've had the car do it in a bit months.
It only comes with one lead. The other one I've had a 3-phase socket put on. Because
Oh,
these
okay.
seem to exist in quite a few places.
So you can actually use that from a 3-phase.
I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know if they set up the switches inside it properly.
Hopefully.
But 3-phase is common in a lot of commercial installations, so I can use this as a portable charger.
Especially as you're doing a lot of country trips. So
and not have to spend another $2,000 on a juice booster.
Yeah.
So this comes included with the car.
Yeah.
So you're going to
That
carry
one as
that.
well.
You're going to carry that with you
This is just going to live in here, but I need to find a 3-phase and test it, because I haven't tested this yet.
on the way back. That'd mean you have to stop.
Yeah, but I don't want to stop.
I know. That's why I said it.
What's my trade-off? It's not too bad. There's a few.
Where the line is around.
Does he have to cut them?
No, there's a.
I know in the US.
I saw somebody quoting it's around 80. Literally only had that. They cut it back. 15 amps on 12, yeah, so you barely.
Jump in. I was just going to keep going.
Happy. Yeah. Anyone with me this time around? No. I think last time was the people that beat up guys.
Yes.
That was quite up on those guys out. So they won 10. Yeah.
But they,
Because we are 3 phases. There's 3 phases of 240.
See you, John.
well, it's similar.
Well, that's my next job. And then after
It's a novelty.
You moved it 2
2
metres.
feet to get in. You lazy
Didn't need to
bastard.
because there's no car next to it.
No. Yeah, 'cause that's what I said. That was the only reason for summoning. But he hasn't